Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to paint a realistic white bunny step by step. This will make a perfect Easter card and will be a great way for us to practice painting white animals with watercolor. Feel free to download and trace my reference photo in the video description below. You will also find my full list of watercolor supplies there. First, I will show you an easy method for sketching a bunny outline by hand using simple shapes. You will also see me use the easiest method I know for preserving white fur highlights, and I will show you an excellent tool I always use for applying masking fluid. We will talk about the most important focus area of the bunny, the eye, and how to get it right with some strategic color and shadow placement. I'll explain how I layer the color washes and how I hold my brush and place my strokes to mimic the direction of the fur. And finally, I will show you how to add a background to bring the white bunny into focus and explain why I apply certain colors. Bonus tip: easy grass strokes. This will make you want to get a rigger brush. So let's get started. My first tip is for those who want to sketch a bunny by hand instead of tracing, although feel free to trace if you want to. You can imagine it as a group of shapes, specifically two ovals, just like this. Once you get those ovals on paper, you can find the right placement for the ears and legs, a tail, which isn't in the reference photo, but I added it anyway. A little trick I use when sketching animals is making the eye just a tiny bit bigger, maybe 10-15% bigger than in your reference. It makes it look more expressive and makes it easier to paint the details, kind of like using Facetune on your Instagram photos, but on a bunny. I don't use Facetune. Another thing to keep in mind is using a hard pencil like 2H or even 4H, which is what I'm using here. This indicates how hard the pencil is so that your outline remains very light and you don't leave graffiti marks on your watercolor paper. Before we start painting, we need to make sure we cover the white highlights on the fur with masking fluid. It would be extremely difficult to paint every single strand of white hair by hand since there's no true white watercolor pigment. So the best thing to do is to use masking fluid and cover the white highlights before we start painting. I recommend focusing on the following 3 areas when painting any white animal. So number 1, and this is always the most important one, is the highlight on the eye. It's going to make your painting look more realistic, and by putting some masking fluid there, I'm going to preserve that nice highlight on the eyeball. The second one is whiskers. It's extremely difficult to paint around, so it's much easier to just put down some masking fluid, paint over it, and then erase it when your watercolor is done. And the third area I'm going to mask is just some strands of hair on the areas that are sort of reflecting the sun, and my source of light is coming from top left, so this is what it looks like in the end. I'm using a rubber color shaper to draw with masking fluid. I don't use brushes, and I don't recommend using brushes because they get ruined very quickly by masking fluid, and I left a link in the video description below so you can find this quite inexpensive tool on Amazon. So once the masking fluid is dry, I'm going to start, and I just want to do the egg first just to see what my blues and purples look like, because I'm going to use similar colors on the bunny. Even though it's white, we're going to need a little bit of color there, and I want them to echo this first egg in terms of the color palette. My second egg will be magenta, and I'm actually going to use just primary colors for the 3 eggs: magenta, blue, and yellow. And I'm just painting around the highlights. I didn't mask the highlights, but you could have masked those as well. And I'm sort of just making it up based on the direction of light coming from the top left again. And now that the first 2 eggs are done, I'm going to start with the most important thing on the bunny. I'm going to paint the eye, and I'm going to use Perlin Violet on the outside and a little bit of my purple on the iris. I'm going to extend using ultramarine blue, very, very light wash, and just cover the shadowy areas. I'm looking very closely at my reference photo and just following that line from the top eyelid all the way into the ear. And then I'm going to do the shadow on top, the shadow from the ear falling on his back. Switch to phthalo blue and use a little bit of the same magenta inside his ear. So those are the most important parts. I want to keep the focus on Bunny's head and the ear, and then I'm going to use more of that ultramarine blue and phthalo blue just to outline a couple of areas that are in the shadow. They're sort of vertical, going from the top down, and I'm using my strokes, my brush strokes are in the direction of Bunny's fur, so you can see sort of if there is visible stroke, it's following the direction of fur, so it's going to help me add that sense of realism. I'm even going to add a little bit of light magenta on the bunny. Again, I really want the fur to have the same sort of color palette, that cohesive palette, as the eggs. And as my paper is still wet, I'm just going to continue adding a little bit more, but trying not to overpaint, not to add too much color. This is sort of the consistency of my mixture. You can see here. And finish off the other ear. And now I'm ready to introduce yellow. I'm going to paint that egg in the background, leaving the highlight. I'm going to use a little bit of benzo yellow from Core and maybe some Hansa Yellow Deep, and just do a very, very light wash on his forehead and nose, just to show that reflection and that sunlight that's coming from top left, and it's going to echo my egg. So overall, cohesive palette, I'm quite happy. Now let's do the second layer. This one we're going to do wet on dry, meaning wet paint on top of dry paper, so you can see the first layer is completely dry, and I'm going to use again my Parallel Violet, but this time a lot more saturated, and I'm using archival length brush in size 3, Kolinsky Sable. It gives me a lot of control because it's so short. I'm going to do just the darkest areas, so around the eye, inside the ear with a little bit of Parallel Maroon, which is sort of like a brick red. Again, my strokes are primarily in the direction of fur, where the hairs are, and I'm sometimes just doing very tiny strokes, just mimicking the hair, and then you can see the masking fluid on the edge of the ear is already coming up. And then sometimes I'm just blending with clear water. A little bit more of my Parallel Maroon. I'm going to do the inside of the eye with Daxazine Purple, my all-time favorite color, and add a little bit more Parallel Maroon around the eye. And now I'm going to go back to my French Ultramarine and go all around. It's a little bit more saturated now, and I'm going to focus on those same areas that I did in the first layer, but now add a bit more detail, a bit more shadow. Very light strokes all around. Sometimes I will add that Parallel Maroon again, like especially on the shadow that's being cast by the ear, and just go over the body. Light strokes. Notice that they're primarily in the same area where I put down my masking fluid. It's sort of a couple of cascading waves of fur. Even though it's short, you can still kind of see some definition. I'm going to add a big shadow on his bum, and I'm going to use a little bit of French Ultramarine and a little bit of Parallel Violet. And maybe darken the eye a little bit. The secret to painting eyes is to get the shadows right. So actually the darkest area of the eye will be right under the top eyelid. So I just made it a little bit more pronounced there. And the last thing I'm going to do is add another layer of phthalo blue on my egg. Make it a bit more vibrant. Now technically you can stop right here. You can sort of already see the shape of the bunny, but of course I'm going to add a bit more color. So in the next step, we're going to do our background layer. Having a layer of color will really help us highlight the white bunny in the middle. And that's one of the main tricks I use when I paint white subjects. If you want to see an in-depth tutorial on how I do different kinds of backgrounds with watercolor, I'll save a link in the video description below. So I put down some masking tape. This is not a very good tape. It's going to peel off right away, but that's the only one I have. And I'm going to do wet on wet, just a very light layer, pretty abstract. And because our source of light is top left, I'm going to use a lot of light greenish yellow there, and then blend it to the right with some phthalo blue merging into indanthrone blue all the way in the back. I really want to set that area backwards visually, so I'm using colder blues towards the right. And then sort of the horizon line will have some green. I'm using Hooker's green and a little bit of purple just around the bunny just to frame it some more. I'm going to sprinkle some salt. We're going to come back to this area later, but right now you can see the salt is going to up some of that color. Now at the forefront, I really want to use warmer colors because I want to bring it forward visually, so more of that vibrant light green and maybe even some azo yellow. I'm going to finish off by adding a bit darker green all the way in the back and maybe a little bit of brown. Sprinkle some salt and leave it to dry. Last step before removing the masking fluid is just another layer on our background. I covered this topic in detail in last week's tutorial, so you can check that out after this, but essentially we're applying key principles of color theory and taking advantage of the fact that we know our eyes perceive cooler colors on the cool side of the spectrum, like the blues, the purples, the deeper greens, as being further away compared to, say, warmer oranges, yellows, and reds. So you can see I'm applying another layer of phthalo blue on the top right corner of the painting, and I'm adding just a little bit of warmer purple around the bunny. There is again a little bit more green on that horizon line, and I'm using Hooker's green, just blending it up with my blue, and I'm leaving the top left corner almost entirely without any color. I just want that wonderful green blue layer to shine through because that's where the sunshine is coming from. And then I'm going to blend my greens down, and I'm not going to put any more color on that azo yellow that I put in on the foreground. So all we're doing here is just boosting our colors a little bit. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit more salt on that area just above the bunny's forehead and add a little bit more Daxazine purple on the edge, exactly where the light hits his forehead. That strong contrast will help draw the eye towards that area. And again, this is something I always mention when painting light subjects. One of the key principles, the edge of light, I call it. And you can watch and learn more in depth about painting light in one of my recent tutorials where I used an example of green grapes. And now it's time to erase the masking fluid, brush off the salt, and you can see all those white areas are completely clear of the pigment. You can see sort of the shine on the fur and the eye. Those are the important things we wanted to highlight. Let's add one last layer of color Using a bit more saturated pigments, I'm just going to go over the eggs, add a bit more magenta, maybe some purple to kind of soften the reflections. You don't have to use purple there, you can just let your magenta blend into blue, but it will add a bit of a nice reflection on the blue egg. And now I'm going to switch to this old squirrel brush. It's size 0, I believe, and I just like the softness of squirrel in this size. And I'm going to go over every area where I had masking fluid and add just tiny little strokes using my purple to add a little bit of definition to those hairs. Now, our important area, the eye, let's add a little bit more saturated pigment there on the iris. I'm going to make that highlight more precise, just paint around it. And now we have a really well-defined eye that's going to draw attention. And that's exactly the effect we're after. Switching back to my large Escoda brush, I'm going to softly go over the rest of the bunny fur and paint those tiny little strokes. Again, everywhere I see some highlights that I made with my masking fluid, I'm going to add a little bit of shadows there. So it's going to help me define those highlights more, bring them forward visually, and overall create a more realistic effect. Again, every stroke I use is in the direction of the fur. One last thing, I'm going to add a little bit more Hansa yellow on that egg that's just barely visible in the background. And if you want, you can paint some grass or flowers in the background. My secret ingredient here is this long rigger brush, and I did a separate review on the set of Escoda brushes that come with this rigger. It's really, really fantastic for painting like long grass or branches because it has that extra length and you can sort of just flick your brush upward and get that really nice natural grass-like look. I went a little bit crazy as I always do with my pigments. I used 3 different pigments, so more like warmer pigments at the front, Hooker's green, a little bit of sap green, and I even used Thyla turquoise, which is sort of like a cooler green, a little bit darker, more on the background. Again, this is just to play around with how our eyes perceive color. The warmer ones usually appear closer, so if you put that warmer, lighter green up at the front, it looks more natural. And then my Thyla turquoise greenish pigment really fits better in the background. If you enjoyed this tutorial and you're interested in other tips and techniques for painting white subjects, I have a very detailed tutorial on painting a white rose full of useful tips. I will link it in the card above and the video description below, so check that out. Thank you for watching. I will see you all next week.